Today I'm going to start a tag. I've got a new light bulb in my light, so hopefully that will help with the light. It's a natural daylight light, so hopefully my room isn't fully bright overnight time. Well, it's early hours of the morning here in Sydney. What I'm doing today is I'm doing a tag for Create and Exchange tag swap. There's another one this month, and they're doing a floral challenge, and my partner is Irene of Australia, and she likes shabby chic, and blue is her favourite colour. So what I was thinking was we can do either a size 8 or a size 10. I'm just going to go for the size 8, so it's 8.5 inches by 4 inches. But I just started getting some paper out. I really don't know where I'm going with it. Normally I would have an idea where I'm going with things, and at the moment I'm kind of stumped. I don't know if it's a mojo thing or what, but I just don't know where to go with it. So hopefully you guys will bear with me. I have got the papers out that I thought would be the best. I love these papers, and I do use them for my mum's projects for her birthday because they're her favourite papers, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. They're by Fab Scraps, and they're the Heritage collection. And I did also get out these little die cuts that I was sent from a lovely friend, when the set came out I didn't get the die cuts and she had some spare. I had fussy cut some of the items out, so it's just these leaves in this design. So I don't know, it's obviously not going to stand out too much with the paper, but I thought I could 3D them out behind some flowers. Like I said, it's a floral challenge. Floral thing. So I've got some more spare bits in case I want to tear or do some sort of mixed media. And I've got another one of those little tickets. I'll show you what the tickets come on so you guys know. It comes on a sheet like this, and you just tear them off. There's a big one and lots of little ones, and then you've got the medium sized ones. And with the paper collection, here it is, Heritage by Fab Scraps. I'll just quickly show you some of the papers. There's the blue one that you've just seen. Okay, there's this pink one. Okay. There's the blue, which you guys have just seen there. That's still the pink. Oops. There's more pink. There's a different pink. Okay. And then there's like a burgundy stripes coming up. I think, yeah, burgundy. So there's the burgundy. Okay. Then there's this lovely one, which is purple. And then there is this one, which reminds me of corrugated cardboard. And there's also this one, which is just script writing all the way through. So that is my papers. And I'd highly recommend this. It is I don't believe they make it anymore, but if you can get your hands on it, I would highly recommend it. It's absolute gorgeous paper, and you get tons of sheets. You get 8 by 8, and there's 80 pages, so you get 10 of each design. So, and there's 8 designs, so it's worth it in the long run. And it's done me for, I don't know how many projects I've done for my mum. I've made boxes, cards, you name it, for every Mother's Day, birthdays. So, okay, so what I'm going to start with is basically cutting my paper to size. So, I'm going to do that to start off with. I'm just going to get my paper trimmer out that has fallen down the back of the cupboard. Okay. I like to use this Christina Ree cutter. Love this cutter. It's actually got, I'll just show you for the people that don't really have never really done it. Don't know if it's going to show up very well. I might tip it this way. Okay, in this cutter, it's actually got wire running along the middle. I don't know if you guys, I might put that light down for a second. See the wire here that I'm flicking? So it's a guide wire. So what happens when your blade runs through, that is a guide to make it straight. Isn't that a great idea? So I'm going to cut these papers to shape, and then I'm going to take my bin. I'm just going to empty it quick. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to distress my papers using my Heidi Swap distresser. Okay, I like to use this bin because then the shavings go into the bin and not on my desk. It's a lot smarter when you're working, because I just don't like all the shavings and stuff, and it's just a lot easier for it to be caught. So I'm just going to distress the edges. Just going to move the light for a second. And distressing is really easy. I'll just quickly show you on camera. You see it? So this is a distresser Heidi Swap. Okay, it's really good distresser. I've tried a couple different ones. There is one by Tim Holtz. It looks like this. So either one you have, you could use this one, you can use this one, or there is like a premium one, or you can just use scissors that are like this, and you just open them like that and run your blade up and down the paper. But just be careful you don't cut yourself. Okay, so just distress the edges, and I want them really distressed for this project. So I'm just going to keep going around the edges. Okay, so I'm just going to stop it here, and I'm going to distress all the edges on both sheets, and I'm going to take some textures from Shimmer's paints in the patina. It looks like this. It's got like a gritty texture to it, but it's this beautiful blue, and I thought that might go very well with that. Okay, and I've taken out a stencil from my stash, which is from Existencil, and it's by Creative Imaginations, and this one is called Plantilla. You're going to see that, so it's Plantilla. Okay, I'm going to take that stencil out, so it's like that design there. I just thought it might be kind of subtle, and I can have it kind of coming out of my flowers, where I'm going to place my flowers, where I think I'm going to put my flowers. So that's basically going to go on top like that. Okay, then it's going to have cardstock around the back to strengthen up a bit, and I'm also going to have a tear coming from this top bit and a tear from the bottom bit, but at the moment I prefer it flatter before I when I'm masking, but then when I'm not masking, I'll, you know, when it's dry. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is I'm going to take my mask, and I'm randomly going to work out, so I think my flowers are just going to go up here in the middle. Okay, so what you do is, I've taken just a plastic spatula. I find it easier than a credit card, and it just smooths a lot better. And this, oops, I got a little hair in it. It's actually got, it's a beautiful colour, and it's got like a shimmer off it, and it's actually got a gritty texture. Hang on, I'll just screw this on, but you might hear it. Yeah, see? In the lid. Okay, now I'm going to get this on. Okay. And you want to push the stencil down and just go one way with the stencil. Problem is, we're going opposite ways. You are going to find your stencil will lift, and your masking will, it'll go under your stencil. And I don't want it too bulky out of the project, so I'm just trying to scrape it off as much as possible to save it. Okay, just get it off my finger. Okay, now I'm going to lift it. This is the bit that always frightens me, because you want it to be perfect underneath. Yep. How good does that look? Okay, I'm going to put a bit here. And a bit up the top. of the mat. Okay, and I'm just going to put a bit on the top. And I can even go over the top of this later with some like rub and buff style stuff. It's going to look good. And there. Okay, I'll just show you. And look at the dimension. Isn't that cool? And it's just got such a shimmer off it. So that's that. And I'm just gonna clean up. As you can see, I've heat set it so the dimensions come out. Isn't that beautiful? Love that colour. And I didn't want it to be real obvious, but I just wanted it to be a light masking, as you can see right there. What I've taken next is some washi tape that I got in my kit from Violet Divine Scrapbooking, and it's for the it's in the Prima kit, and it's in the embellishment kit, and it is the Fairy Rhymes washi tape. So I'm just gonna stucky taped it down because I've cut it in the past. Okay. So I'm just gonna tear that open again. I wanted them to stay in the box because it's a good little divider. Okay, I'm going to use the blue one. Just going to put the other one to the side. Oops, lost my scissors. Okay, sorry, my nose. Okay, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this tape, which is this design here. Hopefully you guys can see that. And I'm going to tear off some strips and we're going to put it on our tag. So I'm just going to tear it. I'm going to tear the other side. Even it up. Like things to be symmetrical. And I'm kind of just going to place it near the masking but not over it, if that makes sense. So most of it's showing. Okay. Just put it in spots. And I'm going to put it up here too, in between. Okay, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some paper from the collection that I had scraps of that I showed you at the beginning. I had some of this and I had some of this one right here, I think. Maybe I didn't. Sorry guys, I don't remember. I'm usually pretty organised with these things. I'll just grab these bits. Okay. With tearing, there is a technique. If you want the paper to be white, tear towards you. So if you want a white strip like this, tear towards you. Okay. And if you don't want that white strip, tear away from you. Okay. But I want it for this project. And I want these strips to be pretty thin. Okay. Just going to keep them there just in case. And what I'm going to do with this one, the same thing. I'm going to tear a bit off and do the same thing. So tear it towards you. Okay. And I'm just getting, I want them uneven lengths. Okay. And I'm using my 480 glue. I use this for everything. I don't change glues for metal, flowers, nothing. I just keep working with the same glue all the time. I hear of people all the time using E6000 for this, and no, I just use the one glue and be done with it. And we need to just tear that end off there. Okay. And this can sort of go up here. I just want it a bit simple and uneven. You'll see at the end it just gives a bit of interest and layers to the project. Okay. Oops. Just going to flip it this way first. Actually, no, I don't want that one there. Okay, so change your mind. With this one, it does need torn. Okay. Okay, glue that down. And then we've got that last little bit. It goes up here. Okay. As you can see, that just gives it a bit of dimension. And I like to sort of frame my sides a bit, that they pop up. So we need a little bit of paper here on the side bit. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing. Tear towards me. And tear towards me. Okay, so we'll just go around that height. Okay. I'm going to have to glue that again. Okay. Okay. And I can go look in now. What I do now is I'm going to take a stamp. Okay, and I'm going to take a bit of paper, so like a scrap piece of paper. Okay. And I've got a stamp here, Prima, and it was from the romance novel. And I've also got Staz on Timber Brown. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Timber Brown. And what I'm going to do is second-hand stamping. Okay. So what you do is, this is another little technique, you will stamp your pad down onto your stamp, right? I like it pretty juicy. Sorry guys, my camera stand keeps twisting. Hopefully that won't happen again. I might twist the camera over to the side so you can see a bit better. Ink it all up pretty well. I like to put my lid back on because I don't like to knock it. Okay, I'm not going to put it on a stamping block. Okay, and then what you do is I'm just going to check. So you would put it into your piece of paper and push down. But your stamp will still have, so as you can see there, it's stamped pretty dark, but your stamp will still have ink on it. So if I stamp it now, you'll get second generation stamping, which is a lot lighter, and see how it's a lot fainter, but I don't know if that's what I'm looking for this one. Can you see that, guys? Just very faint, which sometimes for backgrounds looks really good, but for this I think it needs to be a little bit darker. Okay, so again I'm going to ink up my project, my stamp, using the Timber Brown. I'm going to stamp it down here now. I'm just checking to see where it is on my ink pad, my stamp. Stamp it down. Okay, so it's just a faint little stamping background. Okay. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take... Okay, what am I going to do next? I'm going to flip it around the right way for starters. And what I'm going to do next is... Actually, no, that is the right way. Okay. What am I going to do? Sorry guys, I'm just thinking out loud. Where's the other one gone? Okay. Put that one there. Okay. Alright, let's start getting cracking. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to take out a ton of items that are... Actually, no, before I start doing that, what I'm going to do is... Okay, I'm going to flip it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick some blue paper. I'm going to just distress the edges quick. Distressed. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just glue the paper to the top. Okay, so we don't want it too big. We just want it to be about, okay, cut it about here, and I'm going to cut it about here. Okay. What we're doing is when it's torn, you can use a reverse pattern on the inside. That's all. Okay, so I'm going to glue that down, and make sure you spread the glue everywhere, because when you do the tear, it's going to flap, if that makes sense. So you want to make sure you cover it all. And just slide it down. And I'm just putting it in the middle. And what I do is then I just do my tear. And next I just roll with my hand. Okay. Alright, and the same down here, and I'm going to do the same thing. Cut it, glue it, and this is going to be the inside, so it really doesn't matter. And just make it to the top and do the same thing, because I want to tear on top and I want to tear on bottom. That looks like that. Okay, so as you can see, I just want a littler one on the bottom and a bigger one on top. Okay, and then when I glue it down to its piece of paper, which is this, okay, it's going to look a lot better. Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to grab punch, and I'm going to grab some lace.